Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited for tonight. Let's lighten it up. I'm in my new office, so that's very happy for me. And drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. I love to see how far this community is. And also, I'm in webinar mode, so I can't see everybody. It sections off. So drop in the chat where you're calling from or where you're signing in from so I can see and give you a little shout out. Oh, Florida, Michigan, go green, go green. I'm a Sparty. Texas, okay. We got the Texans in the house. Louisiana. My director just came back from there. Okay, that's awesome. So we got people from all over the place. So we love this. This is amazing. I'm so glad. How is everybody doing tonight? All right. Okay, Arizona. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you this. If any of this sounds familiar to you, I want you to just drop yes in the comments, okay? In the chat, just drop yes. If it doesn't, I think you might be on the wrong webinar, which is okay. Maybe stick around, maybe you'll hear something you like. But listen, you're showing up for your career, you're staying late at work, you answer emails after dinner, you're chasing the next deadline, you're trying to sell the next thing. You're running the kids to practice, keeping the house afloat, remembering everybody's schedule but your own, trying to figure out when you can work out, right? Squeezing in a workout, tracking your steps. Oh, maybe I'll start that diet again on Monday, right? Texting friends, right? Trying to keep up relationships, keep up appearances. You're checking all the boxes, right? But at the end of the day, you still feel like you're not moving forward in the purposeful way that you want to. You're exhausted, you're doing stuff, right? You're doing things, you're busy, but you're not actually making the progress for you in your life and where you want to be. Is that sound familiar? So drop, oh, okay, I already see a bunch of yeses in the chat. So I like that. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I did. So guess what? If you put yes in the chat, you are at the right webinar. You didn't come to the wrong room. You're in the right webinar. So if I haven't met you yet, I'm Dr. Sarah. I am the owner and medical director of Lush Lifestyle. I'm a board certified emergency medicine and integrative medicine physician. And I've led trauma teams in all over different countries in the military, cared for soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and coasties in war zones, worked in the corporate medicine grind, and eventually just started building my own integrated practice. And with all that, I did all the things you guys do, right? I'm a wife and I'm a mom of three amazing kids. And I'm also a woman in my 40s who's trying to friggin' figure out perimenopause and to take care of my own health. And how do I work out? And how do I keep my friends and my sanity together? So I'm also doing all the things, right? So I know what it feels like to do all the things. And I know what it feels like to look good on paper, but still feel like you're not making the steps in those directions, right? Like I have it on paper. I'm a doctor, I'm a military veteran, I've been to war, I have all of the things, but I still wasn't exactly where I wanted to be. At the end of the day, I was tired and exhausted from doing all the things, but nothing was actually helping me, right? And nothing budged that needle, right? And so when I actually realized this, that chaos itself wasn't the enemy, it was actually feedback. Right? Chaos is your mind and your body's way of saying something is out of alignment, right? Something's not in alignment, something is out of alignment. The problem is that most of us stay in autopilot mode. And this is our body. Our body is protecting ourselves. We develop what I call survival patterns, right? The way that our body and mind copes with things. And that's how we get on to the next, and to the next, and to the next. But that is actually what is keeping us stuck. It's definitely keeping us busy, right? We're doing the things, we're doing the next thing and the next thing, but we're not actually taking those steps forward. So, and when I talk about like survival patterns, I don't mean habits, right? I don't mean you drink your wine at night or sometimes you do people work out for survival patterns. I mean the way our brain and body are actually wired to keep us safe. So here's what happens when life feels chaotic or overwhelming, your nervous system kicks into survival mode. It's your brain's ancient wiring, right? Saying, just keep us alive, don't rock the boat, stay steady, steady state, right? In that state, your body pumps out stress hormones like cortisol and epinephrine, adrenaline, right? Those are chemicals that are really, really good if you're trying to run away from a bear, right? But when you're living with that state day after day, they're actually keeping you locked in those patterns. And that feels safe to you because you're familiar with it. You know it, right? But actually, that's one of the biggest things that is hindering you. It is keeping you in that mode where you're just on that wheel and you can't go off, right? You can't go sideways. You can't take a step forward. You're just in this linear path. And that's why you keep getting stuck. Because guess what? The nervous system doesn't know the difference between a bear chasing you, right? Or your overflowing inbox that's stressing you out. Your nervous system just knows stress, right? And unless we first off identify that pattern, right? We have to, in order to change something, we have to acknowledge it. So first we have to identify the pattern and then we have to interrupt it with precision. And if we don't do that, then we stay stuck on this autopilot. If we don't interrupt and identify, then where we are today is where we're going to be in 6 months. No further along, and actually maybe even more frustrated. So guess what? There is three main types of survival types that people fall into. Now, some people may go between one or two, but most people fit into the four, okay? So this is also going to be another fun part. When I say the name and describe it, if that describes you, then type that in the comment, okay? I want to see who we have in the room. If we have, and I'm going to tell you what I am, and it's going to be really fun. Okay, so let's see. So these are survival patterns. These are things that keep us stuck. So let's see if we have any fixers in the room. Okay. So a fixer is someone that's always solving everyone else's problems, even when we're not touching our own problems. It's like, oh, you need help with, you need this. Oh, you have this problem with your website, your email, you want to learn to sell a house. Okay. And you're always fixing someone else's problems. Okay. Do we have any fixers? Any fixers? Okay, Texan, you're a fixer. Okay. Amber is a fixer too. Okay, all right. All right, the next one is the overachiever. Okay, always doing more, chasing the next box, the next check mark, but never feeling like it's enough. Andrea, okay. The overachiever. I am an overachiever. Unless we purposely do this, we do not stop and spend time. This is cliche to smell the roses or appreciate the things that we've done because we're always chasing that next higher thing. Okay. So we got overachievers here. Me. All right. Next up is the people pleaser. Okay. The people pleaser saying yes when you want to say no, right? So pouring everything out until you're empty. And if you're a mom, a lot of moms are people pleasers, right? Because we definitely say yes to everything, right? Oh, I'll be on that committee. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Okay, don't worry, I'll do that. So people pleasers. Okay, all right. I see Devin says she's a fixer and a people pleaser, which you can cross a little bit. And then lastly, we have the lone wolf. Okay. So the lone wolf is the one that's trying to carry everything on their own, even when it's the heaviest load you've ever carried. I don't need help. I don't want help. I can do this. I'm the lone wolf. Do we have any lone wolves? Okay. All right. We have some lone wolves. Okay. I see. So you can see how some we can cross between some, right? And also we may do these a little bit differently depending on the area of our life. So for example, if it's when we're a mom or a dad, we're talking about parenting and things, we may be more of a people pleaser. But at work, right? Or if you're talking about work or business, right? We could be more of an overachiever. And then the same's true when it comes to our health and welfare and wellness, right? We could be something else. So, um, interesting enough, right? I'm going to teach you one tool today. So I have a whole toolbox of tools to talk about basically how to find your pattern and then how to do something about it, because that's the most important thing, right? If you don't want to be where you are now in 6 months, we have to do something about it. And I am a firm believer in precision guided things. That's how I practice medicine, precision guided. And this is the same thing. So the tool that we're going to use tonight, okay, is called the to don't list. I'm going to teach you the to don't list. It's a little teaser of a tool that we have, but it's very, very powerful. Okay. So get your pen and paper, or if you're like me, your notes app on your iPhone. And we're going to do this together. Okay. It's simple, it's easy, and you can literally institute it tonight. So get it together, and we're going to create a to don't list. Okay. Are you ready? So I'm going to have you do this. So first, sit up wherever you are, take a deep breath, let it out. Blink your eyes a couple times. Okay, good. Now I want you to write down three things, three, one, two, three, that you find yourself doing every week that either drain you, distract you, or don't move the needle at all. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples. So, checking your email or social media first thing in the morning before you even do anything else. Bye bye, 1 hour. That's gone. Saying yes to favors or commitments you don't want to do, you didn't want to do in the first place. Staying up late, scrolling, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, even though you're tired and you know how important sleep is. Here's a big one: constantly rewriting or adding to your to do list, but you're not actually finishing anything. The only thing you're doing is writing your to do list over and over in different color, in multiple color, and highlighting, but you're not finishing things onto the to do list. Trying to do everything yourself instead of delegating, right? Multitasking, so doing three things halfway instead of one thing well, right? Taking on other people's problems as if they were yours to solve. Busy work, right? Cleaning up your desk, reorganize files, tweaking things that don't matter, but not actually doing the task at hand. So think about that for a second. I want you to sit with that for a second and just think, what are three things that I do every week that I can get rid of and get off my plate? Okay. And then I want you to take another deep breath and close your eyes again. Blink 3 times. And I want you to look at that list in front of you of those three things. And I want you to look at it. And when you look at it, what is the one that feels the heaviest? Okay. What is that one thing that feels the heaviest on those lists, on that list? And that one thing is what you're going to focus on this week. That one thing. Now, I want to tell you when we talk about the to don't list, how powerful that this tool is as an active tool. It's not something you should do once, it's something you should do every single week. And on Sundays or whenever it is that you built in your plan to make your plan for the week, to sit with yourself, to think about stuff, you should think your to don't list, you should add to your to don't list, right? That you say to myself this week, okay, what are the things I did that were wasting my time, that didn't move the needle? And you write them down, and every week you pick one. And when you get good at it, you can do two sometimes. Your to don't list should be active. And the reason that is because that helps our brain focus. We stay in the moment that we're doing. Sometimes people set goals, right? And months down the road, you look and you're like, wow, I didn't even achieve anything that I set forth to achieve. The to don't list is an active tool that keeps you accountable, right? It keeps you thinking every week and keeps you accountable to what are the things that are in your way and how can you get rid of them one step at a time. Okay. So I want you to, if you feel comfortable, drop the thing in the chat that you are getting rid of this week. Okay. Whether that is, here's the thing, that one thing, it's your job to get rid of it. So that means either completely taking it off your plate, getting rid of it completely. Maybe it's something that you can delegate to someone else. Okay. Maybe it's a boundary that you're setting up, right? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship that's off the tracker and you're going to set up a boundary. What is the one thing that you're going to get rid of? Okay, I like that. I'm going to stop scrolling on Instagram before bed. That's good. That is good. A lot of people do that. Okay, not asking for help. That's amazing and that's a great one. Ask for help. Even this week, do one thing. Ask for one help for one thing, right? Okay, good. Ask for help from my crew. Absolutely. That's awesome. Stop doom scrolling. Yes. Doom scrolling is a huge thing, right? And it wastes a lot of our time where when we could be focused. Now, there's times when we can scroll on things we need to do or learn. But doom scrolling is the thing. So that's what you're gonna do that this week. That one thing. That's your play. Okay. One thing. And when we're talking about people asking for help, you don't have to ask 500, times for help, but try 3 or 4, right? Just say, I need help with this. I need help with this, and give your parameters and see how that feels. See how that feels to take that piece off your plate, right? And all you have to do is focus on that one thing. Those other two, they stay on that to don't list. They stay there, and you can work on those next week. But this week, I want you to work on the one. Okay. And mine, just so you know, is that I am not answering any work emails after 10 p.m. this week. I am not doing it. I am not doing it. I am not doing it. And I already know this is going to free my soul. So that is what I'm going to do. That's my one thing. No work emails after 10 p.m. No, 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 no. No, no. So just like the brain is amazing, right? And it's powerful. And why this works, why focusing on one thing at a time works, is because when you take something heavy off your plate, even when it's one thing, your brain actually changes gears, right? So instead of running in that survival mode, instead of running away from that bear and pumping out cortisol and adrenaline and epinephrine, it starts to shift into your prefrontal cortex. And that is the CEO, right? Our prefrontal cortex is the CEO of our brain. It's a part of our brain that handles focus, creativity, problem solving, and decision making, right? And so it's like moving from the emergency generator, back up to full power. And so that one little thing, right, can start to give you more clarity, more patience, more ability to see solutions that you didn't see before. And here's the even cooler part. When you free up that energy in that one area, your brain doesn't just use it there in that one area. It spills over in everything else, into everything else you do, right? So you can think more clearly at work. You may have more patience for your kids or your partner. You may actually have the motivation to take care of your health or to go to the gym or to say, I am going to start with, healthy eating. That's why one small change matters, because your brain, our brains, reward momentum, right? It rewards momentum. I want to give you a football analogy, and I'm not like a big football fan, but it makes sense. This makes a lot of sense to me, and I think people can understand football in general. But think about that. You're in the big game, right? In this big game of life, the Super Bowl for the football. For us, it's our life. And you're down 30, 30 points, and you're like, what, we're never going to win. And you could go for those like long passes, those touchdown throws. But really, if you look at, are most games won that way? No, they're not. What do? They win play by play, small gains, moving the ball down the field, one first down at a time, right? Why? Because each short play builds momentum. And with momentum, what comes? Confidence, right? Confidence. Because when a team starts to make small wins, their energy shifts, right? They stop doubting, they start believing. Why? Because we're using the prefrontal cortex, right? And then that belief makes them play stronger and better, and you're building momentum. The same is true for us. When you're staring at whatever that is in front of you, if you are, let's just say, take health or weight loss, for example. If you are 240 pounds and you're like, my ideal body weight's 140, and I need to clean up my eating, and I need to take supplements, and I need to go to the gym. Holy cow. That feels impossible. Or what if you are working in corporate medicine or at a corporate job and you want to start your own business? You've always dreamed of it. You have all these great ideas, this passion, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get an LLC. I have to get ads. I have to," and it just seems so overwhelming, right? So that's why most people don't act or they just stay stuck and unhappy because it's too overwhelming to think about what to do. But if we focus on the one small play, right? So, hey, I this week I am going to eat one less candy bar a day. Okay? I'm going to eat one less candy bar a day. So I do that. For the whole week, I eat one less candy bar, right? This week, I'm going to sign up for my LLC. Okay? That's one thing I'm going to do. All right? And then when you do that, guess what happens? Every time you win, your brain releases dopamine, right? And that's a motivation chemical, right? And so you get more confidence to make the next step and the next step and the next step. And pretty soon you're at 145 pounds, or pretty soon you've built this big, huge business exactly the way you like it. And you are helping all the people that you wanted to help as you strung those plays along and you built momentum, right? And now the game is in your favor, right? Because you did the work. Confidence isn't something you wait for, right? It's something that you build play by play by play, right? You can't wait for it. You have to do the work and you have to build it, right? And that is exactly what I'm going to do and teach you in my Chaos to Clarity. Okay. This was one play that I gave you today. But in our 90-minute workshop, you're going to get the entire playbook, right? You're going to take a quiz. You're going to know exactly what your pattern is. And you're going to get the workbook. We're going to go in and figure out exactly how you're going to fix that pattern. Not fix it, how you're going to work within it, right? We're going to identify what it is and we're going to work with those, with our pattern to get us to the next step, right? You're going to build a personalized clarity map, and you're going to walk away with a reset routine, right? That creates momentum in every aspect of your life. Because remember, when you take those small steps, whether it's health or whether it's business, those things flow over into all the aspects of your life, into work, into health, into relationship, into goals, because you now can take that one little thing and you can apply it everywhere else, right? So take your to don't list today, take that one thing you circled on that to don't list, right? And that's what you're going to focus on this week. All right. Though this workshop that I'm putting on is 90 minutes. It's intensive. Okay. It's no joke. You got to come and you got to be prepared to work. You're going to have your workbook. You're going to have your coffee or you're going to have your tea or whatever it is, but you got to do the work. And I promise you that if you come and you do the work, this will be the best 90 minutes that you've ever had in your life. Okay. And you're going to take those steps forward that you need to. And I'm going to be there the whole time. Okay. This workshop is happening on October 8th. It's at 7 p.m. I'm going to drop the link in the comments as long as, I can get all my technology to work. I think I got it to work. That was what I was the most nervous about, getting my link to work. But it's there, okay? So one tool I gave you tonight, that's one tool. I want you to focus on it this week, okay? And then imagine what happens when you put the whole framework into frame, right? October, come on. It's going to be amazing. And you're going to make that progress in wherever the part that it is in your life because it's one play at a time and you're not going to be sorry about it, right? So chaos is not failure, it's feedback, right? And clarity isn't doing more, it's choosing better, right? It's understanding how we work, how we're wired, and what we can do. Because what I need to do is different than what Elizabeth or Amber or Devin or Steven, right? Or Julie needs to do, right? Everybody needs to do something different, but the first step is recognition. Take that one thing that you wrote down, and I want you to please commit to it this week. It's your first play, okay? If you are ready for that full playbook, join me. Join me on October 8th for 90 minutes. I got 150 spots, okay? And when they're gone, they're gone. And what's really cool for everybody that joined tonight, because I really appreciate you and your time, on this evening. If you grab your seat by 9:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight, I'm going to send you a $25 Starbucks card. Hey, you can use that to energize yourself, right? You can get yourself your coffee or your tea for the 90-minute course because you got to come ready for the workshop, right? Remember, the link is in the comments. Thank you for showing up for yourself, right? I thank you for being here with me, but thank you for showing up for yourself because the fact that you're here means that you want to take that next step and you're already going to take the first step, right? You're going to take that first step on the to don't list and you're going to utilize it this week. And I just ask you, see how you feel, right? See how you feel, see how it goes, and do it again next week and the next week and continue that momentum going forward. And the world is yours. So I thank you so much for giving me your time. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them. But I really, really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming tonight. Okay. So, yay. If there is none, which is good and okay, I will see you all very, 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 very soon. Good night.